Hi, I'm Dave, founder of Halloween Year Round, and today I'm talking about the newest and, for better or worse, probably worse, final movie in Sony's not Spider-Man universe, the Sonyverse as I've called it. The universe that apparently they've always been allowed to use Spider-Man, but just haven't been for reasons.
Things that could have been brought to my attention yesterday!
So I'm here to talk about Kraven the Hunter, a movie that I saw it in theaters, and I'm probably going to have the most unpopular opinion about it, and that is that not only is it not the room of superhero movies, as certain online critics have said, not only is it not terrible, I actually kind of enjoyed it. And here's why. Now, first and foremost, let me be clear. I'm not saying that Kraven is some, underrated gem or masterpiece by any way, shape, or form. Yes, it still has major issues. You can tell that it was butchered in editing and post-production. Kraven randomly has this, pilot friend that has, one line, and I feel like she had a larger role, and it was just cut down. Yes, there are certain line reads that you're like, is that really the first, did you use the first take? Is that just bad ADR? And yes, it has... Rhino's a little goofy. There are definitely things to poke fun at and criticize about Kraven. I'm not saying there aren't, and I'm by no means saying it's a perfect film. But there's enough things I like about it, and I kind of wanted to focus on that because I feel like Kraven, it's suffering for the sins of Morbius and Madame Web, and I think that you have people comparing them, and I even saw one thing online. It said something like, it's the rotten meat between the moldy sandwich, the moldy bread with Morbius and Madame Web. And I feel like that's a really unfair comparison, and I feel like we're now at the point, much like Aquaman The Lost Kingdom, by the time you got to it and knew that the DCEU was already over, everyone had written it off before they even saw it. And based on Kraven's box office numbers, I know that most of you guys criticizing it, yes, I say yous, I'm from Philly.
Did you say utes?
Yeah, 2 utes.
What is a ute?
Most of these guys criticizing it haven't actually seen it. I just wanted to talk about some of the things about Kraven that I enjoyed and that, for me, elevates it above the bottom of this barrel. So I really like Aaron Taylor Johnson. I love his... I've been a fan of his going all the way back to Kick-Ass. And I think that he famously didn't do so well with Marvel before in his one turn as Quicksilver in, Avengers Age of Ultron. But I really like him in this. I buy him as this sort of, scruffy, rough around the edges vigilante who, he's closer to a Punisher than he is a Spider-Man. And I like that the movie kind of lets him be that anti-hero. It challenges him to, face the idea that maybe he's not that much better than the people he's going after. And in a series that was so quick to turn the villains into heroes, let them be villains, for God's sakes. I feel like this one at least challenged the character in ways that the other ones didn't. And I really like him as an actor. The whole opening sequence in the Russian prison is legitimately really cool. And I mean, let's be honest, he's the kills in this movie are amazing. Finally, just in time for the end, Sony let the movie be R-rated, and as a result, we get kills that rival that of slasher movies. You've got the gore, you've got a dude being split in half, you've got, a freaking bear trap to the face. As a horror fan, I dug this movie, just for no other reason than it was fun to watch these gory kills on the big screen. Again, yes, there's plenty of issues with it. You could die by playing the drinking game, by taking a shot every time someone says Calypso. You can make fun of the fact that, Kraven's accent seems to change between Russian, British, American. He's never sure which one to use. You could criticize the fact that Rhino's kind of a wimp, and then, when he finally turns into the Rhino, he's just like a dude with a rhino horn. But, did you prefer Paul Giamatti in Amazing Spider-Man 2, where it was just like a mechanical suit? At least this one tried. I also, for what it's worth, I really liked Russell Crowe in this movie. I know that, his recent take in Marvel movies was not so good, where he was a laughably bad Zeus in Thor: Love and Thunder, but I buy him more as a Russian gangster, as just this kind of skeevy, guy that's willing to do anything, but who also kind of genuinely cares about his sons, even if he has a really not good way of showing it. Minor spoilers. I think it handled its ending really well, in the sense that you were expecting his father to ultimately be the villain. And while that's kind of the case, I like that they did it in an interesting way, where it wasn't just, his father turns into a creature that he has to fight. Because I think that's been done, and I think the movie found a way to avoid that cliche. So, for what it's worth, I enjoy the movie. It's not going to win any awards, nor should it. Maybe Razzies. But I felt like I had to defend it, because it is nowhere near the level of bad that Morbius and Madame Web are. And I really think that its public opinion is more motivated by their failures and Sony's overall failure for this little side franchise than it is for the movie itself. But hey, these are just my thoughts. This is my rant. Let me know, what did you think of Kraven? Did you like the same things I liked? Did you even see it? Did you think it's as bad as the rest? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, share, subscribe, all the YouTube stuff. If you don't, you may end up stuck in one of these Sonyverse movies. Not Kraven or Venom, but Madame Web or Morbius. And as always, every day is Halloween.